Let's bow our heads, please. Dear Heavenly Father, you are an awesome God, and we want to thank you for providing us today a wonderful day together. We all gather in this place as one united family to witness the joining of Matt and Jenna as a husband and a wife. Before time even began, God planned the marriage of Matt and Jenna so they can honor him and to complete the kingdom here on earth. We ask that you bless this marriage and help them to keep Jesus Christ in the center of their relationships and all decision-making processes. We pray that both of them seek you for forgiveness, guidance, and wisdom daily as they navigate life together. As the Apostle Paul stated in 1 Corinthians, that a mature Christian must have faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love. Please allow Matt and Jenna to increase their faith, hope, and love in each other and in you, all in your Son's name. Amen. Let me just say something about June 25th in the life of the Decker family. 63 years ago today, my mom and dad got married, had an exemplary life that everyone in our family wants to and a copy. Mom, will you stand up, please? Happy anniversary.
All right, I expected Joel to speak first, but the Justice side wanted to thank you all for coming out. We know a lot of you have driven a long way to get here, so we appreciate it. We're not just gaining a daughter, but we're gaining a family of friends because we get along with the Blanks and the Deckers already. We've had a good time so far. The only problem I've had with them is they're Sox fans. Now, one of the things I do part-time is I help run an online metal radio station. And I get access to a lot of tickets. And it's me plus a guest. Fortunately, Joel and I like the same music, and a lot of times he's my guest. So, knowing that they're Sox fans, Matt and Jenna, it would not break my heart for Joel if on this special year that the Cubs won the World Series, the same year, so that Joel can remember this forever. But all kidding aside, Mom and I love you guys. It's great party. I think everyone's happy. Thanks. Many years.
Again, just like the Justice, can everybody see me? I am standing. All right. Just like Scott said, we want to thank everyone for coming out today. This is a special day, 2 years in the making. A lot of sacrifices the kids have made to put things off and for education and jobs and getting their life started. But Jenna and I have a different way we got started, right? Back in the early 90s, I bought a condominium in Crestwood, Illinois. This was my crash pad. This is my boys' house. We were going to just party it up. And then, right? Some of them are here helped me move in that day. 2-bedroom condo. My dartboard was up. A lot of music all I wanted. And within a couple of months, I met my wife. I fell in love. And I fell in love with my daughter, Jenna. At the time, was 4 years old. And it changed my life forever. So my dartboard and my boys' house and my crash pad turned into dress up, turned into Disney trivia. I got to go, I think, Aladdin on Ice. I got to go all this stuff. I'm like, what happened? But I tell you, the relationship that we've built, and I would never trade it for the world. I absolutely love you to death. And as much as I changed your life, you changed mine forever. And I'm so glad that you picked me to be your dad. I'm not done yet. So with a lot of moving going on, we moved to North Carolina for a year. Jared's coming. We finally settled down to Oak Forest. We get through, we've been in Oak Forest for 19 years. Our neighbors are here. We love it there. Thank you. A lot of you guys are a part of this, so this is great. So you get to high school. Jenna goes through high school. A lot of her high school friends. She gets to Western Illinois, and all you do is pray that it just seems like it's about a year ago, that we were just moving her down in the big van. We forgot your television. Yeah. And you move her in and you kiss her goodbye. And then, all you do is Mom and I did a lot of praying for you. We're happy for the future. You guys moving to Myrtle Beach, so moving to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, if you didn't hear it. So how excited about that? They get to start their future out south. But Mom and I, again, thank you, Jenna. You made it easy to be your dad. And I'm so proud of all the decisions that you've made. Okay? We love you. Cheers.
All right, good evening. My name is Jim Napperstek, and I'm a Boy Scout. And as a result, I'm going to start off my speech tonight by asking everyone to stand up.
All right, now this is a repeat after me song. One hand. One hand. One hand, two ducks. One hand, two ducks. One hand, two ducks, three squawking geese. One hand, two ducks, three squawking geese.
All right, you can all sit down. So the rest of that song takes about 6 minutes and 47 seconds. And I don't know if I have that much time, so there's just a little teaser. We've got a table of camp staff guys. If you want to hear the rest of the song, they will demo it outside later tonight. All right, now before I get to the meat and potatoes of my speech, I do want to take a second and thank the parents. Scott and Maria Jessless, you guys have been another set of parents to me for the last 14 years. I've had more than my fair share of frozen pizzas in your kitchen, and you guys have always treated me just like another one of your own kids. So thank you. And then there's the Deckers. So I first met them 2.5 years ago at the engagement party. And I think it was probably a week, maybe a week and a half later, that Mama Decker was insisting that I stay in her house for the night so I didn't have to drive home in a snowstorm. So I learned real quickly that I had the Jesslesses that took me in as another son, and a week and a half after knowing the Deckers, I felt like I was a member of that family as well. So while today is very special for both Matt and Jenna, it's also very special for Jennifer and Joel and Scott and Maria. So let's give them a round of applause for everything that they've done. So like I said, I've known Matt for 14 years. And I once heard that if you're friends with somebody for at least 7 years, there's a really good chance you're going to be friends with them for the rest of your life. And despite Matt now living 1,700 states away from Iowa, I'm pretty sure that there's nothing that's ever going to separate Matt and myself, and now Matt and Jenna and myself. So one of my first earlier memories was I was at the Jessel's house, and we were having that frozen pizza I was talking about. And Brittany, being a few years older than me, and Matt usually colluded together to find a way to pick on me. And we're having this frozen pizza, and Brittany hands me what I think is a salt shaker, and tells me that, hey, you should put this white pepper on your pizza. I had never heard of white pepper before, and so not wanting to make a fool out of myself, I just, no thanks, I'm good today. Well, for the longest time, I thought white pepper was made up. And I did a Google search a couple years ago and realized white pepper really is a thing, but at the time they were just trying to get me to pour salt onto my pizza. There's so many different memories that I could have chosen to talk about tonight, and I picked one that may or may not be a crowd favorite. I hope you kind of see the meaning behind it. But it was something really simple, and I really didn't think of until I started actually preparing for this speech. 2007, Matt and I were in the Boundary Waters in northern Minnesota canoeing. And right before we left the outfitter, we picked out our paddles that we were going to use for the week. And Matt grabbed a wooden paddle, thinking, and I was kind of in the same boat. Oh yeah, wooden paddle, probably going to be better than plastic. Well, when a wooden paddle loses its seal and you are dipping it in water constantly, it basically becomes a paddle full of bricks, twice or three times the weight that it normally should be. Well, the third or fourth day we were on this trip, I pick up Matt's paddle and I realized this is nothing more than a waterlogged piece of wood, but he never said anything about it. And that's because Matt is, hands down, the most humble and selfless person I've ever met in my entire life. A lot of times when people talk about their role models and their mentors, it's someone that's older than them. Well, for me, I've been fortunate to have a few, and one of those role models for me has been Matt. And I'm a few months older than Matt, so I know it's probably not pretty customary. But as long as I've known Matt, he's been the epitome of what people should, how people should carry themselves every single day. And it's no surprise that these two found each other. I couldn't be happier for you two. And I know, it's tough, because when Matt and I were growing up, we would see each other 3-4 times a week and go on camping trips once a month, sometimes 5 weekends in a row. And to now have to go through the transition of, maybe we see each other at holidays. Well, before Thursday night, the last time I had seen Matt was 2.5 years ago at that engagement party. And I could be, sad and maybe a little bit bitter, but knowing that when they moved to South Carolina, Matt's got his absolute better half there with him, makes it all right. So tonight is going to be a night filled with dancing and cheering and celebration and maybe even a few camp songs out in the front yard. And Matt and Jenna, I hope you realize all these people are here because they love you and they believe in you. And we know that you're always going to succeed as the Justlices. So with that, let us raise our glasses or cups or whatever you may have today, and let us cheers to the happy couple, Matt and Jenna Justlis.
All right, so we've got two best men. We've got two wonderful maids of honor. So lucky for all of you, you get to hear double the speeches. You're welcome. But while Jim may be one of the best men, it's clearly evident that I am the better man, but that's okay. I am. I have the microphone. In all seriousness, though, I've known Matt Justlis for about 12 years. So my story, in a nutshell, is very similar to Jim's, in the fact that I met Matt through Boy Scouts. However, while Jim had the pleasure of knowing him in his Boy Scout troop, I met Matt a few years later in something that's called the Order of the Arrow, which is essentially Scouting's National Honor Society. An easy way that I compare it is kind of like to a fraternity, and it has 3 core values, which are brotherhood, cheerfulness, and service. And of course, Matt, identifies with all of those 3 values, but as we all know in this room, Matt is a complete and total goofball. And I think if I had the time, which of course I will not do, but I'm pretty sure every single person in this room, I could go around right now and they would have some joke or some prank that Matt has pulled on them, and everybody could share in that. And that's because Matt has a very funny personality, but he brings out cheerfulness in a lot of people. And, you know, I thought when I was trying to come up with what I was going to say up here tonight, knowing Matt for so long, you know, the common questions, anytime you give a speech, you know, what am I going to talk about? What stories am I going to share? And, you know, I thought, I could talk about all the crazy pranks that I've seen him pull, all the pranks that I've seen him fail at, all the ones that has been pulled on him, which he's not the master, okay? This kid was not always the master. In fact, if you can picture this kid right here, but like, I don't know, a couple feet shorter, still just as skinny, and with still that same like cheesy, jestless smile and grin doing this thing. But picture that, picture that before he hit puberty. Hilarious. So he wasn't always a master, but while I thought I could go on and after story of all these funny things that Matt has done, I guess I realized the common tie of all of those, which really is cheerfulness, which is why I wanted to bring up the core values of the Order of the Arrow. Because Matt has this amazing ability to somehow bring out happiness in anyone. He is by far the only kid that I've ever known that could somehow take something as simple as being a crossing guard and somehow all of a sudden get his own Twitter page. Who does that? Who does that? But I think that speaks to the kind of person that Matt is. And for those of you that may not know, Matt worked as a crossing guard at Ole Miss, and the student body created a Twitter page called the Ole Miss Crossing Guard, and they would take pictures with this kid. And they would pose for him, and literally, and you can watch the videos on YouTube, they're hilarious. But it's literally, all right, y'all, can you hold on just 1 minute? Oh, okay, hold on, all right, y'all can go now. Which I want to know how you picked up a southern drawl. I don't know how that happened. We live in Illinois. Like, how does that happen? But Matt asked me not too long ago to fill out a reference letter for him for a job that he was applying to. And, you know, kind of the same concepts as coming up with what I was going to say tonight. Which was, you know, what am I going to say about this kid? I mean, I've known him for so long, and that Ole Miss story is exactly what came to my head, because Matt is someone who can take something so seemingly simple, saying, hey, please stop, okay, great, go ahead, and turn that into making people happy, which Matt seems to have this amazing ability to be able to do. And it seems only right that he should have someone to be able to share in that. And enter wonderful Jenna. So, Matt, yes, is definitely a gentleman of very few words at times. But trying to get details about his personal life sometimes is ridiculously hard, even for Jim and myself. So we noticed, you know, after we went off to college and, you know, trying to stay up and things like that, as Jim kind of mentioned too, this girl, Jenna, kept coming up over and over again. And he, you know, you'd pry and you'd ask, like, oh, you know, are you guys going on dates or anything? And he just would completely just dance around it completely. And we're like, okay, we know what's going on here, even if he won't admit it. Which, Jenna, thank you for having a Facebook and posting things on Facebook, because that helped a lot. But I think it's awesome that someone that I've known for so long, someone that's so near and dear to my heart and to many of you in this room, that brings happiness to so many people, has now found someone to share in that happiness and bring those same smiles to his face every day. So, wherever my drink went, with that, I would like to cheers to a lifetime of happiness and to making each other happy. Cheers.
Hi everyone, I'm Kate. And I'm Meg. We're Jenna's friends from high school, for those of you who don't know us. We are so excited to be here today because not only is tonight the night that Jenna and Matt get to start spending their lives together, but it's also the night that Kate and I get our lives back.
I want to go back to the very first night I met Matt. We were celebrating our birthdays together at Western. We went to go visit Jenna. Kimmy was there. And sharing my birthday is a big deal. So Jenna was like, Kate, you're going to share your birthday with this kid I really think is awesome. And I was like, I don't know. And so we met Matt, and he was wonderful. But the entire night, every single thing that he said, Jenna smiled, shook her head, and rolled her eyes. And said, oh, Matt, that has never stopped from the exact moment that you met each other until now. And Matt would just smile and shake his head and look right back at her. And that has never stopped between the two of them. And it was at that night and that moment that I knew that they were going to spend together forever. And like Megan said during her speech, between every phone call, text, everything, every time Matt was brought up, it was just, okay, well, it's Matt, so you can just keep moving on because it's going to go back to Matt. And we can't get over that. But also, 987 days ago today, you guys were engaged. You proposed, and you guys were engaged. But before that, Megan and I received a Facebook message from Matt inviting us to his proposal to Jenna. This message included a detailed itinerary of the day's events, all starting with the 5K. We eagerly tried to talk him out of it because who wants to have engagement pictures after they've ran 3.2 miles at 6 a.m.? But for those of you who know Matt, you can bet he was pretty adamant about sticking to this schedule.
We knew then that Matt was the right person to keep Jenna in line, and we were pleased to learn that he wasn't afraid of the word no, a term that he may have to use a lot in this marriage.
Fast forward just 729 days ago, when Matt and Jenna dragged us out to a Boy Scout camp in the middle of nowhere, in the dark of a Wednesday night, where tan and green uniforms outnumbered the bugs, and the two decided to tie the knot. Also, very shocked by both of us that Matt would be wearing his Eagle Scout uniform to the ceremony. And they literally tied knots and had their tied knot rings to share. It was wonderful, though.
We knew then that Matt was the right person for Jenna because somehow he managed to convince her that it was her idea to teach a ropes course in the trees all summer with those bugs in a small cabin with an even smaller closet.
Over the course of the next 2 years, Matt and Jenna made a home for themselves in Mississippi.
We knew then that Matt was the right person for Jenna because he became the first and only man to ever live in the Ole Miss all-girls residence hall.
This actually worked out in Matt's favor because he became Instagram famous and known as the best Ole Miss crossing guard to ever exist. Today, we show a token to that 15 minutes of fame with, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute. Stay right there. Y'all, come on. Unfortunately, his 15 minutes of fame came to an end when he received his first job as a police officer in Arkansas. Since we are such supportive friends, we planned a trip to see Matt in Arkansas, but Jenna told us we couldn't go.
We knew then that Matt was the right person for Jenna because he honored her wishes and never invited us down.
You don't need to go there. It's fine.
Finally, this brings us to the last week when we celebrate Jenna and Matt finally being able to live together for eternity. Good luck with that one. Am I right, Jill?
Oh, yeah! Bye!
we could not be happier for you. You are both caring and compassionate people, and we cannot imagine anyone better to marry our best friend. While marrying Jenna was probably one of your better decisions in life, we knew that keeping Kate and I around was your best one yet.
But in all seriousness, Matt, thank you so much for loving our best friend. We really couldn't pick anyone better for the two of you, and we're so happy to see your love blossom. We can't wait to visit all the million more states we get to with you. Okay, million's exaggerating, there's only 50. But seeing you two truly happy and together is something we're so blessed to be a part of, and thank you for everything these past few years, and for so many more. Cheers to Matt and Jenna as the Jesslesses!